Something wonderful is happening to me right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. I accept things the way they are. I accept things the way they are not. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. I love wasting. I love wasting. I get free. I reap abundantly. I already have everything I need. Wonderful is happening to me right now. Don't you feel it? Something wonderful is happening to me right now. Oh yeah, I accept things the way they are. I will. I accept things the way they are not. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Well, good morning, all. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm here with my family to have service with the center. We're so happy to be here. I have my daughter Lvcsl and my grandkids, and they're going into Sunday school. Have a wonderful day.
Good morning.
We love being in this center. Love all the women here, the beautiful gals.
Oh my goodness.
All the men. We need more men.
All right.
They're crazy not being here with all these women. The outnumber is like 4 to 1.
What's
I am so grateful to be flexible. Oh, and I'm grateful for Spirit to show me times that I get to step into something. So thank you. So if you would, close your eyes and allow yourself to be fully centered and fully aware of all the good that is taking place. Just inhale deeply. Feel the love filling inside of you. And exhale anything that does not serve you in the here and now. And continue with your breath, paying attention. As you inhale, feel it filling you with every attribute of God. With every inhale, feel peace. Feel love. Feel wholeness. Feel joy. With every exhale, release all that is unlike that. The truth of each of us is peace. It is love. It is wholeness. It is joy. So just allow that truth to permeate your being from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. All of that is so true, and it is already true for each of us. And it's in this moment, in moments like this, that we have the opportunity to recenter and re-anchor ourselves in that truth. Now allow your awareness to expand beyond yourself. Feel it expand into this room. Feel that consciousness of love, of peace, of wholeness, of joy, permeating this sanctuary, this business complex, our city, our country, our world. As we join in these unifying thoughts, we are recalibrating our bodies and we are recalibrating our world. So just stay in that peaceful place. Take a few moments and feel yourself filling and permeating your consciousness from within to outside of everything it's seen. Feels. So I ask that you just gently bring yourself back, still with all those attributes, but bring your consciousness back into this space, to this room, to your seat, open and ready for all the good that is coming your way. Namaste. So just allow yourself to just stay in that centered, still place and lower or close your eyes. And know that the truth I'm speaking for myself, I'm speaking for each and every person here. And so I recognize that there is one power, one presence, one divine energy that I call God. And I know that God is expressing itself in and through and as everything, everywhere. And so it can't help but express its beauty, its love, its passion in and as me. It gets to express life and love through me. And so I know that that is true for me. It is true for each and every person hearing my voice. And so I claim and know that I get to express and experience love no matter where I look, no matter the circumstance or the opportunity that is presenting itself. Whatever the question, love is the answer. And so I'm so grateful to Spirit for showing up in ways that allow me to give that of myself, that love that I am. And the truth is, it doesn't give anything of me away. It fills me. It rejuvenates me. And it allows me to give and receive more. And that I know it is this center that reminds me of this truth. It allows me the place to practice. It allows the place for me to see love in everybody I meet. So I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for Reverend Celeste, who is sharing her love with us in a message that touches our hearts. I'm so grateful for our ministers, our ministry of prayer, who every moment know that each of us are God in expression and are here always to remind us. I'm so grateful for each and every volunteer who knows that what appears to be selfless is actually filling them with that same love. I'm so grateful for our youth and the teachers that guide them to their truth. I'm so grateful for our musicians who touch my heart each and every week and remind me how good it is to feel God through their notes. and for each person that gave themselves the gift to be at this center this morning, who has given me the gift of getting to share this space. I'm so grateful for it all. And so I release my word into that perfect action of the law, knowing it is already done. And so with full faith and confidence, I let it be. And join me in saying, hello. Love the diversity that this center offers. The musicians, or Patty and Dave and Rochelle and whomever else that Patty chooses to come out, they're just all so talented. I'm just so very grateful.
We are all grateful. I love it.
And the diversity also moves on to our speakers. Today we are blessed to have an agape style speaker. And you know when I say agape style, for those of you that know Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith, this beautiful woman trained with Reverend Dr. Michael. And she's got that energy and that fire and that passion and that just agape style thing going on. You all know what I mean, which is much different than the other three of us. We're all three wonderful as well, but it's just different, and it's exciting for me. So I'm just grateful to have this hunk of burning love, Reverend Celeste. Please welcome her.
Thank you, Stacy. I always feel the love when I get introduced by you. I'm grateful. Grateful to be back here in Las Vegas. So unlike the usual sentiment of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, I invite you to share whatever there is that may be of interest to you with others after you have had this little time with me. What a wonderful song. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. I particularly like how it started off with a long road. I did have a little bit of a long road. It's kind of like, funny thing happened on my way to Las Vegas, but I'll get there short. I wanted to introduce you to my book for those of you who have not heard, and I've done my best to try to make sure that that hasn't happened. It's called Divine Workplay, and I just wanted to share a little excerpt from that because there's a thing in here in week 30, and it is 52 weeks of practicing the presence, which is the subtitle. And I'm referencing that song from Rent that says 525,600 minutes. You know, how do you spend those in a year? And so I say our purpose for being on the planet is simply to be loved, but not everyone has a healthy, loving parent to give them that information from the start. People are carrying pain and dreams and goals. If competition is bred as a means of increasing success rates, sometimes being first takes priority over being compassionate. When we achieve goals and escape failure in repeated ways, we become accustomed to certainty about our success. But when business losses and relationship issues surface, we either work more or sit down and process where we are emotionally. Working more can lead to exhaustion and irritability. Rest is crucial to our well-being, and we want to actively nurture ourselves. A loving choice is to sit down to process how you feel. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about what that is and processing how you feel, because there is a road that each of us is traveling on. And my particularly interesting journey to get here to Las Vegas was that I was on a 6:45 p.m. flight from Chicago to Las Vegas. That was what was on my ticket. So when I saw it go to 7:20, I was like, okay, all right, okay. So then when I saw it go to 8:20, I was like, texting my friend who said we were gonna have dinner in Vegas that night. maybe not. Then we were boarding around 8:30. I said, well, okay, maybe I'll be able to at least grab a bite on the way to the house or something. I don't know. So when we were sitting on the plane after an hour and a half, they said, well, the good news is you're going to Vegas tonight. The bad news is that, you know, we are waiting for our flight attendants. And they've been circling, but then they were directed to Milwaukee, so we want you to get off the plane now. And then we'll get back to you, and you'll just get right back on. Just leave your things if you want. So, you know, an hour and a half later, when you know, people started accumulating back around the gate, and they said, you know, we were all ready to board y'all, but you know, our pilots have timed out. So we're going to try to find you some new pilots. And that's when the cussing and yelling started. So I went to the other side because I didn't want to get caught in crazy. You know how that can happen. So, you know, I got these little pop-ups. I just discovered the do not disturb function on your phone. Oh boy, I'm excited about that. But this is Southwest Airlines. Oh, what do they have to say? Flight has been canceled. Oh. Yeah, wouldn't that fun? So then I stood in another line for about an hour and a half to get to the ticket counter and said, we can get you out on Saturday morning. Well, I'm also here because of family reunion. I just kind of spiritually orchestrated that family reunion so I could get back here to y'all. But anyway, so I'm like, no, I have an event on Friday night. I need to be there on Friday. Okay. Well, we can put you on standby. We're already overbooked. Why did they do this? And they end up dragging people off of planes and things. I mean, why did they do this? So anyway, mine is not to ask why. They said there's a 6:20. Now I only live about a half hour from the airport, and I said, well, I could go home, sleep for an hour and a half, or I'm gonna go home for 2 hours and come back, rush back to board by 5:50, and it's 1:15 right now. So I did what I thought I would never do. I saw those other people on TV doing that. I slept at the airport. Slept is kind of a wrong choice. Not exactly slept. So, you know, with flip-flops on and very cold, and so anyway, grumble, not really grumble, just like, wow, okay, this is happening. So anyway, after about so much time, I attempted to get on the 6:20. I am not even really showing up. Maybe I think I was number 19. And then then I said, well, okay, the 8:30, and then I was like number 15. Oh, I'm getting closer. And then the 10 o'clock, I think I was number 15. And then at the 12:31, fourth time, I was number 4. Because I had said, if I didn't get on 12:30, I was just going back home, you know, and then coming on Saturday morning. So I said, well, okay, I'll try one more time. But I surrender. I'm not attached to any of this. I'm just letting go. So for the one at 1:55, the first name that was called was mine. But let me tell you what happened in between all of these. Stand by. We were no longer just people without a land or plane. We were comrades in arms. We were not just simply, well, maybe a few of us were. There was this one man, I'm never flying through Chicago again. This always happens to me. And I'm thinking, probably because you're expecting it to happen again. I said, you know, that's funny. I've been flying in and out of Chicago for 48 years, and this is the first time this has happened to me. And then I started seeing there was a bunch of people that were going to a religious conference. And, you know, I was talking about them, and I got time, hey, why not? promote the book. You know, I have a book, spiritual book. Y'all going to a spiritual conference? Oh, how wonderful. You might want to take a look at this. So in the middle of that also, then you got to discuss spiritual things, and you start to find out that there are people from a traditional way who are looking at things like the emerging church, and you have this dialogue. What is that about? Well, you know, oh, I get it. I say, you know what? People no longer want to be talked to or at. I think they want to be in the conversation. That's right. And so that's what we were doing. We were having these conversations. And so every time one of my comrades got on a plane, I'm like, yay, you're on! You know, some other people might have been like, damn, I wish that was me. But I was like, okay, yeah, you know, because for me, that was a signal that it was possible for me. So, oh, I'm sorry, did I do that? But the interesting thing was that I was watching me. I'm like, look at you being all patient and everything. What is this? I was like, no, this is not you. Who are you? Who are you? Maybe you're just tired and your defenses are down. Why aren't you over there yelling and screaming and cussing with those other people? What's wrong with you? You all right? And so I was like, okay, this is real interesting. So I was watching it, and then a funny thing happened. Gratitude happened. And I was like, oh, snap. 48 years of traveling, and this has never happened to me. I'm no longer watching the people on TV sleeping in the airport. I'm looking at me sitting here doing that. Wow, that's what this is like. Look how hard these people work in these airports, hospitals, all kind of. A lot of sick people there. Oh my God, look at these food service preparers. Oh, the restaurants aren't open until 5. But oh my goodness, these people have to get up at 3:34 to get here. Oh my Lord, what about these people at these ticket counters trying to figure out how to do what the corporation has instructed them to do by filling up seats that don't exist? Wow. Trying to make magic. Wow. Oh my goodness, I never thought about how airport staff have these tremendously difficult jobs to do. Wow, I'm so grateful that they're here. And that was kind of a shock. I was like, okay. Yeah, I mean, I do gratitude, you know, I do my little gratitude journal, but what about those things that I never had an opportunity to think about? You know, when Lauren, you know, the first snafu with the microphone thing was like, oh, God gave me an opportunity. And so I was kind of looking at it the same way. I was like, oh, God's giving me an opportunity to be compassionate, to understand a lot about what is happening in life. And so another thing in my book that I say is that, thank God there is the light of love running through all of life. If we wake up to love, we can know that we are supported by God always. And, you know, when I thought about that, 525,600 minutes. It's like, wow. So many of these minutes we can waste by complaining about what isn't and missing what is. That's right. Because there's this hunk of burning love that's ever present. There's this wonderful power that is opening doors and windows so that we can see in the cracks and the crevices those places in us that need light, that are requiring that light in order for us to grow on a cellular basis. Not to mention the whole body of our affairs. So, you know, all that wonderful time, I wasn't just interacting with people. You know, I'm in that favorite pastime of looking at online social media sites and noticing a music mogul friend of mine whose name I won't mention. I think he lives here, so that'd probably be a good idea not to. But he's like, these people want me to be there early in the morning. They know I don't do mornings. They say they need me to do this, and that's not in my contract. What should I do? And I'm thinking, well, this is curious that he's even asking the question since he's all set in what he doesn't do. And I'm like, well, you know, Is it, an ego thing, or is it, an opportunity for something else to occur? I know it's not ego. I don't function from ego. I'm like, okay, cool. So, having a conversation in the world of virtual here, just talking. So, sometimes there's a new opportunity for the green edge of growing to occur. And he was kind of okay with that, because I got a like on that one instead of a debate. So I thought, wow, here's a wonderful opportunity for us to know more about the nature of God. I brought a quote with me. It's on the third slide. I don't know. I didn't mean to fast forward on you, but that's kind of what's happening right now. In the third slide, it says, every soul is on a perpetual pilgrimage to an ever-expanding realization of oneness with the all. What results is a vulnerable heart opened so widely and compassionately that one cries out for all of humanity as one's very own. So that was my experience in moving through this particular travel here to y'all, and I thought that it was particularly poignant, as that wasn't what I thought was going to happen, but I got an opportunity to get into a deeper way of seeing things. I have, in this whole process of preparing for today, been looking at what I was noticing, and that making friends part, that music mogul part, that sharing healthy living recipes for eating and cleansing that I was reading about, the exchange of spiritual awakenings that were happening, the exploring the cultural shifts in the world of religiosity and spirituality, and the shifts in the organisms of faith-based communities. All of this on a long road to Las Vegas. And then I realized that this was not about getting to Vegas. This was about my soul arriving in Vegas in the way that it needed to do so. So the majority of the time that I have spent in Vegas, I've been coming to Las Vegas since about 1977, so that's about 40 years, right? When I was living in Los Angeles, my father had moved to Las Vegas, and so the majority of the time that I spent in Las Vegas was coming to see him in the hospital in 2005, when he started off having a quadruple bypass, which I think turned into like 6 bypasses, whatever that is. I haven't had a lot of sleep this weekend, so I'm not, got the math all together in terms of whatever that is. But what's happening is, I'm driving to Vegas, I'm flying to Vegas, going through my, not feeling dutiful, but I know I need to be there for my father. So I'm going through these wonderful experiences while I'm in ministerial training, while I am working, and while I am trying to see about the care of my father. And the evening that I left to go back to TA a class at Agape was at the same time that he decided to have a stroke. And so what that meant was the next time I came to see him was to talk to him without him being able to respond to me. And so that was also the very toughest time that I had to deal with my family. Because, who was I? I was only the daughter. I wasn't his wife. And so, wow, now there's a huge family reunion, and I get to be present with these wonderful people that I have had helping to grow my soul And I thought about all the forgiveness work that I had done, you know, the letters that you write in foundations to some of them. And for any of you who haven't taken classes, that might be a route you want to take to help you along with that family stuff. And I thought about the forgiveness work that I still need to do. And I said, wow, do they still have any impact on me? You know, are they still able to trigger any pain? Is disguised by anger? Wow. What about all that rage that I suppressed when they were telling me that, you know, me bringing lavender to my father was not going to help him? You know. What about those times when I had to take a taxi cab to church because my stepmother would not let me use one of the 2 cars that were in the garage because I needed to have my spiritual support as I moved through watching my father on the ventilator? What is that I'm still holding inside? Because after all, I'm about to see these people en masse, all of them all together at one time. Wow. What about those ways that I thought that they were cruel and thoughtless? What about those ways that I thought that they didn't handle my feelings appropriately? What about this do I need to say? And what I came to see in the process, that all the spiritual practice I had done had already laid the groundwork for me. And it never even crossed my mind when I was there with them on Friday evening. All I was there to do was to love them. All I could do is feel joy when I saw them. All I was able to do was to be able to hug them and to share pictures and to catch up with their lives. And all I was able to do was to be present with them, whether they were 86 or 6. And it was a wonderful thing to see the transformation that had occurred in me, as well as my need to simply be loved. I'd like to go to the first slide, please, if that's okay. I realized how grateful I was for the opportunity to be grateful. A person may be reborn, remade, and renewed in mind and body just through taking a little time to get acquainted with his better self, just through coming to recognize the invisible and almost unknown guest who accompanies everyone through life, the spiritual presence within. That's from Ernest Hunk. So we're having this transformation whether we like it or not. It's happening. And I kind of actually like it because it doesn't have to be hard. Because I realized, wow, there are bumps in the road that can be painful, ouch. And there are times when, you know, we don't think that we can recover because it feels so devastating and so traumatic. But wow, guess what? Still here. And not only surviving, but thriving. And guess what? I'm made new. My mind has been renewed. Wow. That means I don't have to carry those old thoughts with me anymore. That means I don't have that stinking thinking impairing me the way that it used to. Wow, that means that I have a new way of seeing. That means I have a new way of being. And so knowing this, I just got really clear that, you know, not only had I taken for granted the years of travel that was unimpeded, except for minor delays, but I was also able to, you know, look at other more recent challenges. You know, I had an interesting challenge with a coworker. I know that doesn't happen to y'all, but I started looking at those moments of irritation. And I started realizing, oh, that's an unhealed place. So when I ran to do an errand in the heat and came back not feeling well, instead of saying, are you all right? She was like, well, you came back broken. Whatever you did, don't do that again. So she did. And I was like, Lord Almighty, I feeling my temperature rise. It is not like I was reminded of the song Hunk, Burning Love. It's not like I was picturing Elvis Presley thrusting his pelvis enough. But it was like there was no compassion that I was being able to see. And I was like not really having compassion for myself. I was kind of like pity. Oh my God, what has she done to me? This is betrayal. This is entitlement. Attacking me when I'm vulnerable. Oh my goodness. Treachery. Occupying my mind. The repeated abuse I continued to be subjected to just to keep this job. Oh my Lord. My brain is flaming. I don't know which way to go. Help me, I'm flaming. I must be 109. Burn it. Nothing can cool me. I wasn't even aware that I was burning through to my soul. Girl, you want to set me on fire? In fact, it's cool to be able to laugh at yourself a little bit. I spent the weekend rehashing it in my mind after that, right? And then I was becoming enraged even though she wasn't anywhere around, right? Not in my presence, but in my mind. And so when I returned on Monday, I was still a bit on guard. Even though I had, released, I had gone to church, started healing, got the word. Oh, thank you, God, for delivering it to me at the time when I needed it. But I realized that I had triggers that were seated in the abuses in my childhood with my brother. I wasn't supposed to show up 7 years later when he was king of the world. And he's been trying to make me pay for it for the last 59 years. But wow, then when I come in on Monday, then she's being nice to me. Oh my Lord. May I have the second slide, please? Is anybody home back here? I love this. But if the enemy shows willingness towards peace, you also show a willingness towards peace and trust in Allah. Verily, He is all-hearing, all-knowing. The Quran. Oh no, she did bring Muslim people up in here. We bring no terrorists up in my church. But interesting, and I chose enemy to describe this woman, right? Okay, all right, so a willingness toward peace. Because mind you, before the weekend, I did take a day off just because I just really wasn't ready to deal with her. Then she took a day after that because I don't think she was ready to deal with me not being able to deal with her. So we had time over the weekend to process, and then she was being nice to me, and I was like, okay, all right, I'm gonna have to be on guard. I can move my guard down. But it was an interesting lesson to find out that I was carrying things that I didn't know were in my bag. So when I said, won't you help me? I think I'm slipping away to God. There God was. And then there were these CSL value-based themes that were here and available to talk about love, caring, and compassion. Oh boy, how timely. Y'all don't know what a minister has to do to bring y'all stuff on a Sunday morning. So, here's what I quote in week 7 of my workplace. Marketing is new for me, so I might be a little clumsy. It's from Carlton Whitehead. As a creation of infinite mind, I am a divine idea infused with the principle of harmony. Within me is the vital seed of a creative, constructive, life-expanding relationship with every person, place, and thing. Wow. I'm a divine idea, so I've already got harmony in me. So it's already ready for me to activate. There's a seed there that's creative. There's a seed there that's about becoming something. It's life affirming. It's creating an opportunity for more life to come about, for fresh energy to come about. It is this expanding relationship that I have with my Creator, this expanding relationship, therefore, that I have with myself. And therefore, an expanding relationship that I can have with every person, every place, and everything. So I thought that it was interesting. I believe this is the, is there a third slide there? Is that, oh no, that's not the one I was talking about, but okay. All right, never mind. My count is off. There's a George Washington Carver quote in my book in week 21. It says, "No individual has any right to come into the world and go out of it without leaving behind him, her, distinct and legitimate reasons for having passed through it." Your distinct and legitimate reason for being alive is to be that burning love. What about teaching a man to fish? You know, give a man fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a life. Give a man some warmth, he'll be warm for a day. Set a man on fire, he'll be burning for the rest of his life. Don't get any ideas about any torches and gasoline. But substitute any kind of physical fire with the fire of your love. Give yourself an opportunity to really ignite yourself with the love that is already seated inside of you. Give yourself an opportunity to burn away the pain, to burn away the injustices, to burn away all of the trauma. Give yourself an opportunity to know that in the midst of it all, I'll take that last slide now, that there is an opportunity, regardless of the tax that you may walk through, to get there. Here's what Jean Shinoda Boland says. The important forks in the road are decisions and struggles to do with choosing love or fear, anger or forgiveness, pride or humility. They are soul-shaping choices. So I noticed the soul-shaping choices that I've been making lately on my way to Vegas. And it's been pretty wonderful. But Meister Eckhart says the very best and utmost of attainment in this life is to remain still and let God act and speak in me. So no pressure. Don't get any performance anxiety about having to have that kind of burning love that will ignite your life in ways that are awesome and tremendous. I just invite you to let go and let God, because it's got it already done in its mind. I invite you to simply be the love that you were created to be, and God's got the rest. Thank you so very much for listening, and I'll be still.
Celeste is going to pray us out. Would you stand and connect?
What a wonderful connection, exemplified by our hand holding. Knowing that even if we're not physically able to touch one another, that we are always already touching one another. Because that which is within each one of us is touching each one of us collectively and individually. As a hunk of burning love, it burns through us and it burns away anything that is not serving us. And what emerges is a fire that we are bringing to set the world ablaze with our love. So grateful for the children reminding us of the simple kindnesses, and for the beautiful songstresses and musicians anchoring us in that I am awareness that is so gently underplaying in the songs and the keys of our lives. I gratefully release this word knowing this service is complete, and I let it be, and so it is.
And so it is.
Amen.